Hi, this is John, and I'd like to talk a little bit about putting research into the research papers. First off, for the sample paper, the kidney transplantation paper, you'll notice there's a story about John as a patient with diabetes, and he had to go to the hospital for dialysis regularly, and it was such a hassle. And then at the end of that story, you'll see that Brian is in parentheses. That's giving credit to the source. That's from a personal interview with Susie Bryan. So the part above, which is the story, is paraphrased. So it's put into the author's own words, but they still give credit to where they got the story, which was from Susie Bryan. Now you notice when we get into the bottom, and that will be appropriate for you too if you start your paper off with a story, to give credit to the source of the story. And it's best if you paraphrase the story and not copy it. So put it in your own words and give credit to the author at the end of the story. You'll notice when we get into the first body paragraph, improve a person's overall health, there are several citations. The first one near the top of page 2, highlighted in yellow, is a quotation with the credit given at the end of the quotation. So that's a quote with, like I say, the credit given at the end, which is given in parentheses, just like it is there. When you don't have an author, give credit to the title or to the website. So they gave credit to study shows that a kidney transplant can reverse heart failure. You'll notice also on page 2 there's another citation in the middle. The credit's given at the end again in the parenthetical method. It's given to Granville, and it was from page 1. And there's no quotation marks, so that means it was a paraphrase. It was put into the writer's own words. So they found this information from page 1 of Granville, and they put it into their own words. When you paraphrase, put information in your own words, you don't need the quotation marks. And then there's another one on the same page 2, which is a lead-in quotation. You notice there are multiple authors, so they gave credit to the multiple authors, Hans Strid, Magnus, Simran, etc. And then following the lead-in, there is the quotation, gastrointestinal symptoms are common among patients with chronic renal failure. And they left off the page number. They should have had that added in. But in any event, every time if you have information from your research, you give credit to it. Whether you put it in your words, which would be a paraphrase, or their words, which is a quote, you still give credit. And you can give credit before the citation, which would be a lead-in, or after the citation, which would be a parenthetical. Like on this page 2 here, we see 3 citations backing up that point made in the first body paragraph. And each citation is from a different source. So that's a very good way to manage your citations. And we want at least 2 per every body paragraph of the paper. 3 is excellent, and 2 is satisfactory. So you'll see in the next body paragraph underneath for dialysis, the first thing they do is they paraphrase information from Medin, Ellender, and Highlander. That means they put the information in their own words, that data about the 16 to 34%, but they gave credit to the authors. Then we go down a little more on the top of page 3, and they had a lead-in quote, according to Joyce, comma, and then there's the quote, and there's the page number it's from. So your paper will have lots of citations in it because it is a research paper, so the amount of research matters. The minimum is 2 citations per body paragraph. 3 is even better. And you want to have variety in the types of citations you use. Sometimes you put the information in your words, paraphrase. Sometimes you put the information in their words, word for word, quote. Sometimes you give credit in a lead-in where you give the author's name before the citation. Sometimes you give the credit in a parenthetical. You give the author's name after you give the information. So this is just a little bit of information about how to put research into your research paper.